I've been a hairstylist for 25 years and I will be 44 next week, so I understand firsthand how our hair changes over time. And today I'm going to share with you these 6 mistakes that make your hair look older than it should, and more importantly, what you can do about it. I have personally been guilty of making some of these mistakes, and these are the same mistakes that I preach to my clients while they're sitting in my chair. So if you want to see if you are guilty of making any of these mistakes, keep watching. I know a lot of women do not like to blow dry their hair because they think that they're saving their hair from the heat and it makes their hair healthier. But what it does is causes your hair to lay flat against your scalp and produce more oil, which means you have to wash your hair more often, which makes it look dry. And then you're also making it look flat against your scalp because there's no chance your hair is going to get any lift unless you have naturally curly hair. But let's be honest, most women with fine hair are battling any type of root lift. So if you want to not be a victim of flat roots from air drying your hair, here's a little hack. Purchase a good set of Velcro rollers. Let your hair dry about 70, 80, 90%. Apply your rollers, let it finish air drying. And then when you remove your rollers, you will have instant lift. It won't be like you blew dry your hair with a round brush, but you will get much more lift that way. This might be a little confusing for some. Washing your hair too often or not washing your hair enough. Both can cause major issues. Washing your hair too often can strip your hair of its natural oils and cause your hair to look dry and dull, which makes it look older. Now, not washing your hair enough can let the products and all the things build up on your hair, which can weigh your hair down and cause it to look heavy and flat, which is not a good combination. My suggestion is to wash your hair based on what it needs and instead of following a strict schedule. Say you're used to washing it every 3 days, on the 3rd day you have to wash your hair. Evaluate your scalp and your hair. Does it need to be washed? Or on day 2, is it ready to be washed? It all depends on whether you've been out in the humidity or sea salt water, all the things. So listen to your hair and your scalp and wash as needed instead of on a strict routine. What I would suggest is using some sort of shower scalp brush, or if you have nails like me, really get in there and give it a really good scrub. Another very important thing that most women don't know or don't do is let your shampoo sit on your hair for at least 1 minute so it can actually get in there and do its job. And I know a lot of people think sulfates are bad, and so if your shampoo suds up and bubbles up that it's not good. That is a myth. Don't listen to that. Bubbles are good. It actually helps trap the dirt and all the grossness, and when you wash it out, it all rinses away. Not using conditioner on your roots. Women don't want to apply conditioner on their hair because they think it's going to weigh their hair down. There are many different types of conditioners, so choose one that's for volume or for fine hair or thin hair, or one that says density, something like that. Make sure it's just a very nice thin consistency. Then apply it roots to ends and honestly really get it into your roots. Your scalp needs that moisture to grow healthy hair. And if you have a dry scalp, then you're gonna have dry hair, which means you're gonna have dry ends, and then it's just gonna look older. I have 2 tips for you. 1, really thoroughly rinse out your conditioner. And 2, my favorite for women who just don't want to listen to me is to reverse wash. So condition your hair, roots to ends, let it sit, then rinse it out really good, then shampoo. Then you don't have to worry about your hair getting weighed down from the conditioner. Heat damage leaves our hair looking dry and brittle and dull, and causes your hair to break on the ends, which makes a lot of women think that their hair isn't growing. It's growing, it's just breaking off before you're able to see any of that length. So I will preach to you, like I do in almost all of my videos, a heat protectant is a non-negotiable, if you're gonna be using heat, of course. And I recommend 2 different types. If you're somebody who likes to really blast their hair with like a hot brush, 100% make sure that you're using a heat protectant that's like a lotion type that you're going to apply before you blow dry. That's definitely a non-negotiable. If you're somebody that likes to put their hair on low heat, I still recommend something before you blow dry. But if you don't really use a hot blow dryer, but you do use hot tools, then I am going to recommend that you use a dry heat protection spray. And I will link both of my favorites in the description below, so you can choose between the pre-blow dry and the post-blow dry options. They do have really good multitasking heat protections pre-blow dry that include a volumizing product and a heat protectant in one. So you're getting the best of both worlds and you don't feel like you have to layer a ton of products. I will also link my favorite options for those as well. And the last mistake that a lot of women make, because they're like, I have fine hair, my hair doesn't grow, so I do not need to trim my hair that often. So they end up going like once a year or sometimes twice a year. That isn't enough to keep your hair looking shiny and healthy and vibrant, which makes your hair look younger. Now here's the amount of time that I recommend getting a trim. If you like a really crisp blunt cut, 4 to 6 weeks is a good time frame. I do have clients that come in every 4 weeks because they love that crisp blunt look. Now, if you have hair that you don't necessarily blow dry that often, you do like to use hot tools every now and then, and you're not really like beating your hair up too much, then 6 to 8 weeks is perfectly fine. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't use heat at all, you barely use any hot tools or any of the things like that, you don't really style it too often, then I recommend those types of clients go like 10 to 12 weeks. So just kind of learn your hair, ask your stylist. Most stylists aren't going to say, yes, you need a trim just to make money. So don't any of you out there just say that. I'm saying that. I will many times recommend my clients go 10 to 12 weeks if I really don't think their hair is growing, because there are people who really do that type of hair where it really doesn't grow. So don't mistake the hair breaking off for people's hair who really doesn't grow, because there are some of you out there, and I do understand and I feel your pain on that. Those are my best tips for a hair cutting schedule. If you have fine hair and you're just looking for an easy place to start, I created a free PDF guide for you to download called the Fine Hair Blueprint. It walks you through the first 5 things that I recommend for any woman with fine hair, including the best haircuts for fine hair, simple styling tips, and the biggest mistakes to avoid. You can download it using the link below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more fine hair tips and you don't want to miss out on any of my product recommendations and guides and all the things, then make sure that you're subscribed. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.